Hello, this is Elaine Ortiz, and I did my project on the 5th Infantry Regiment of Kentucky. This was a Confederate regiment that served from 1861 to 1865. They organized in Hager Hill, Kentucky. All recruits were volunteers, and the leading commander at this time was Colonel John S. Stuart S. Williams. Their first battle was the Battle of Ivy Mountain in Floyd County, Kentucky, and this was one of the battles that I expanded on, so it has a black dot in its center of the pin. This battle was fought on November 8th in 1861, and it was a Union victory. The 5th Kentucky Infantry had an estimate of 10 dead, and their commander was Confederate General John S. Williams. And then here is where I expanded on some key points of the battles. And then I have my letter, which I wrote to my dear friend Riley from the perspective of a soldier that was actually in my regiment. His name was Samuel A. Calhoun. Their second battle was the Battle of Middle Creek. It was fought in Floyd County, Kentucky on January 10th in 1862. It was estimated that the 5th Infantry had about 65 dead, and they were led by Confederate General Humphrey Marshall. Their third battle was in Mercer County, West Virginia, and it was the Battle of Princeton. It was fought on May 15th through May 17th in 1862, and it was a Confederate victory. It was estimated that about 4 died in my infantry, and they were led by Confederate General Humphrey Marshall again. Their fourth battle was in Walker County, Georgia. It was the Battle of Chickamauga, and it was fought from September 18th to 20th in 1863. It was a Confederate victory, and my infantry had about 103 dead. They were led by General Braxton Bragg. The fourth battle was in Calhoun County, Georgia. It was the Battle of Red Gold Gap, and it was fought on November 27th in 1863. It was a Confederate victory, and my infantry had about 13 dead. This was another one of the battles I expanded on. Here's just a list of some things that happened during the battle. And then my letter, which I wrote to my mother, again from the perspective of Samuel A. Calhoun. Next was the Atlanta campaign, which was actually made up of a lot of the battles that I'm going to be talking about after this, but this was another one that I expanded on. The campaign lasted from May 7th through September 2nd in 1864. It was a Union victory. About 130 died in my infantry, and here are some of the key events of the campaign. They were led by General Hood, I believe, during this time. Yes, General Bell Hood. And these were all the battles that took place during the campaign. My regiment didn't fight in all of them, but it did fight in the ones that are coming up. I wrote my letter to Mary, who is my wife, again from the perspective of Samuel A. Calhoun. The next battle was the Battle of Ruska. It was fought in Gordon County, Georgia, from May 13th through 15th in 1864. The outcome was inconclusive because there was no clear winner. And there were about 130 dead in my infantry. They were led by General Joseph Eggleston Johnston during this time. The next battle was the Battle of Dallas. It happened in Paulding County, Georgia, from May 26th through June 1st of 1864. It was a Union victory, and there were about 199 dead in my regiment. They were led by General Joseph Eggleston Johnston again. Next was the Battle of Kennesaw Mountain. This took place in Cobb County, Georgia, on June 27th, 1864. It was a Confederate victory, and about 138 died in my infantry. They were led by, again, General Joseph Eggleston Johnston. Next was the Battle of Peachtree Creek. It was fought in Fulton County, Georgia, on July 20th, 1864. It was a Union victory. There were about 285 dead in my regiment, and they were led by Confederate General John Bell Hood. Next was the Battle of Atlanta in DeKalb County, Georgia. It took place on July 22nd in 1864, and it was a Union victory. There were about 275 dead in my infantry, and they were led by Confederate General John Bell Hood. Now, finally, was the Battle of Johnsonboro-Sherman's March to the Sea, which was also known as the Savannah Campaign. It happened from Atlanta, Georgia, to the port of Savannah, so it took place over a wide range of land. As well as dates, because it took place from November 16th through December 21st of 1864. It is classified as a Union victory, and it is unsure how many men died in my regiment at this point, but a high number is estimated to be captured or have died, some estimates saying about 1,750. And they were led by Confederate William Joseph Hardy at this point. This was one of the battles I expanded on, and these are some of the key events during this battle. And then I wrote my letter again to my wife Mary from the perspective of Samuel A. Calhoun. And that is the conclusion of my project. Thank you so much for listening.